Did you answer that? What about downloading it during setup?
Technically, the GPL license says statically linked or dynamically linked.
So that could be dynamically linked, right?
But hold on, that's
I know.
no. That would prohibit. I mean,
What?
that would prohibit anything that can link to it. That can't be right. I mean, the possibility that you download something that later links to
Yeah,
the
maybe they want to.
DLL.
Well, technically, I'm not sure we can even put the MySQL DLL on the gallery because their download is protected by an account. So I'm not even sure we can have it on the gallery. So I checked NuGet. NuGet has MySQL on the gallery. Okay?
Yeah.
And I asked them, what's the issue with the licensing? So right now, if you go to NuGet.org and you search for MySQL, there is a link with the license. Seems to be valid. But NuGet, when you put something on NuGet is not for hosting any non-authorized stuff. It's you, so NuGet doesn't care.
Yeah, I think at this point we need lawyers.
Yes, so the conclusion with the NuGet team was we need to ask lawyers.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will ask lawyers.
Okay.
We'll buy a lawyer for 1 or 2 days, and
well, you don't need to.
we need a lawyer on the team. We are Microsoft. We have more lawyers than Oracle. No, maybe not, but
no, probably not, because Oracle is all lawyers. That's all they do. They don't have any engineers.
The other also nice thing is that no, there is no other nice thing. not politically correct. So okay, and I know Benedek is recording stuff, so I won't say that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I never thought of that, but yeah.
Video can be cut, but yeah, I don't trust Benedek. So yeah, that's about MySQL. Also about 1.6. Yeah, we have to do triage to see what goes in 1.6, but I assume it will be just bug fixing, no more feature. And yeah. So next step for MySQL is asking lawyers what can be done and what can't be done. And for instance, can we host the DLL on the gallery?
Well, like the Facebook DLL. Maybe you could host the just the DLL in the module, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or have a recipe downloaded automatically and install it, because to provide a drop-down list, we don't need the DLL. We just need when the recipe is selected and then the recipe is executed. So if the recipe is downloading the module, which it can do, it's okay. And if the module contains the DLL, done, it works. Yeah. So that would be nice. So MySQL lawyers. Triage later. So Bertrand, free talk. What do you want to say? You missed 5 or 6 meetings.
Didn't I miss 2?
Yeah. You don't even know the ones you missed.
And I watched them on YouTube later, and in one case I even wrote the notes.
Yeah, without hearing anything. Bad notes.
Yeah, well,
it's okay,
nobody else did it, so.
So next point on my topic list, Harvest. You saw the new web design from the Orchard Prime guys, Andy and Ryan. I don't know if Ilan wants to say something. Wants to sell the event.
Something.
Okay, so done. What else? Yeah, I think almost everyone from the list here. No, half of the list has tickets to go there. Nick, we are still waiting for you to cancel your vacations.
I wish maybe one day.
So we'll have Pete Hurst. For people who don't know who will come, we'll have Pete Hurst coming. Rockstar, Orchard Rockstar, 6 months in a year, and after 6 months, the other 6 months is not there, but he will show up. We got another Rockstar, David Hayden, blog Rockstar. Sipke is the ultimate Rockstar for Orchard. He will be there too. Antoine doesn't want to come, so it's okay.
You're going, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah, but he's listing the rock stars.
I bought my ticket.
Ooh.
I got my ticket. I don't have my flight, but I have my ticket. So, yeah, I think that's it for the rock stars. Zoltan, I didn't mention you because you're too young to be rockstar. Same thing for Benedict. And Brett is too old to be rockstar. So.
But most rock stars are actually very old.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
rock
we are,
stars.
okay,
not...
pop stars. Alors, pop stars. Okay. Look, and he's not talking with us with a mic, but with a radio from the 50s or something like that.
No, he's actually doing a Daft Punk thing.
Maybe a Mac. He has a Mac. That's why.
No.
It works.
Mick Jagger's rock star. I mean, he's very old. He's older than my dad.
Yeah. So Harvest website. So just something. So I made the website. Almost everything in the website, technically, I mean, and it's very nice to stop developing Orchard and making websites with it. Zoltan is Justin Bieber. Yeah, I think maybe Justin Bieber is older than Zoltan actually. And so I have a bunch of feedback to give to the development community, including myself, about developing websites with Orchard. I will just enumerate them and you will tell me if you agree. I'm sure you will agree. So Orchard sucks first, okay? You will agree? Yes, Nick agrees. So Nick, your number... No, oh, Piotr is here. What time is it? So Piotr and Nick are no more member of the committee then. So I made I took a few notes about what I had to change and what I missed. Widgets first. I wrote the widget template adds too much markup by default. Same thing for zones. The default shapes add a lot of stuff which can be interesting, but if you want to render your own customized theme or from a template, it's hard because you have to remove all this extra tagging. On zone, same thing for widgets, which adds a div, an article, a section, and header and footer. And
are we still using wrappers for widgets?
yes,
Yeah,
that's the wrapper
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
And wrappers don't have alternates.
And wrapper don't have alternates.
Why is that, by the way?
Because they are not.
I know, but
they are
they
not
could
shapes.
have alternates.
Yeah, they are shapes. They are shapes.
We could apply the same.
Yeah, there is an open issue for that, but it didn't bother me actually. It's more than the fact that there were too many tags for that, and I had to clear everything. It's like having a reset theme, you know, overriding all the shapes and removing everything. So like we have the reset CSS, a reset theme. So that was the first point. I'm glad that someone finally built a site in Orchard. Yeah. wrappers. So you agree. Then oh yeah, so I leveraged the widget part by adding some properties. For instance, let me show you. It's interesting to see how I did stuff, and maybe you will have done this differently. Let me show you with the Harvest website. And for that, I need to share my screen. And for that, I need to find the window. And then secondary monitor. So what are you talking about in vote for the bug? Which bug? Yeah, I've never had a problem with wrappers, yeah. Okay, so Harvest, let me show you what's happening. So for instance, this, you see the speakers here? It's a projection widget. This is another widget, HTML widget. Sorry, so ping me when it's live. I think it's now, isn't it? So we got the speaker widgets and HTML widgets. And this is also a widget. Let's say it's a widget. And you see the difference here, we have a separator here. So what I wanted to do is like, when I create a widget for this specific theme on this specific website, I wanted a checkbox to say add a separator above. Okay? So if it was inside a widget, every widget would have had the separator, which I didn't want. So I added a field on the widget part to like as a checkbox to say add the separator, and I changed the widget wrapper shape to take this new property into account and render it if needed. So that was the first, or maybe not the widget wrapper, but the widget shape, not a widget wrapper. Yeah, the widget wrapper shape to inject it. So that was one of the techniques I used, and I was happy with that. I also wrote some widgets by name, which is okay. Menu, and this is interesting because the same question appeared on the forum just after. So I customized the menu part with a custom property named CSS class, because I figured that for every item you might want specific classes to be applied to them. For instance, this one is the first one and has a gap here, but it could be done in CSS. And this one, because it's before this one, which has a specific class. So this Harvest logo is a menu item, HTML menu item, so that the content is an image instead of a link. Well, it's an image and link. And this one has a specific class so that the CSS can say it's bigger than the others. And this one has another specific class to say because it's after this one, it has to be pushed away. So, and I found it very interesting to be able to add custom classes to every menu item. And the same question happened on the forum. So the idea is that just add a text field to the menu part and override the menu item.cshtml just to render the li and adding the CSS class in it. And I think it could be done by default in the module because it's so obvious to be able to add a CSS here.
Yes.
So
widgets too. For widgets too. We should have it for widgets and menu items.
Do we have it? You have it in the Vandalia?
I have it as an external module, but usually people want to do it on widgets and menu items. Those are the two main scenarios. So now that we know that, we can bake that into code.
Then projection. I use the projection here. Okay. It's rendering that in ULIs. It's okay, but I had the issue on another website actually, which is I don't even want ULIs. If I say I want to project my result based on the content display type, like summary, I want them to be rendered as is without any tagging around. Render it a raw layout. So the idea would be we currently have a grid layout, a list layout, using ULLIs, and I would have like custom layout where I can say what is the tag for the main container and what is the tag for each of the containers. And if there is none, then there is no tag, and just displaying raw summaries like this. And it will be better than using ULI sometimes. So let me read what's on the chat. Interesting, something that I missed. All those stuff, I can't read this text. Sebastian, it's like I'm a tree and you're one of those little elves reading my mind. Okay, creepy, yeah.
So does everybody see those, like, Giannis can't get this text or this image? Or...
Yeah, me too.
What?
So when somebody's unable to get an IM, it sends all the errors back and publishes it out in the IM stream. So I don't know if that's a setting on the new link that you guys can.
No, I think it says it could not be delivered, but actually it was delivered.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the same thing when I wrote the HTML samples. It said okay, but and with a broken image that's linked. It's a preview, it's a beta, so happens, yeah. Plus I will try to send some feedback about that, but they must know it. Just use it.
So the before all of that, red sort of made it hard. I was just to read. I had pinged Piotr as part of the conversation that you were bringing up features that you wanted as to be able to manage CSS classes for each menu item. We already built that months and months and months and months ago in the advanced module for the one-stop navigation module. So if you want to take a look at that and possibly integrate that.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's so trivial. It's less than trivial. So no, that's really just a text box to add. Yeah.
But thanks. But yeah.
And actually, you can even do it dynamically. It's just one template to change, and that's how I did for the Harvest website. So you don't even need to be in core to do it. And but yeah, being in core might make sense. It's very simple. Did he charge you for that?
We don't talk money here. It's all community.
Okay, so that's it. I also had, it's okay. Projection, I give you.
Sebastian, speaking about the CSS classes that is applied to widgets, do you apply those on the wrapper level or on the widget part shape level?
Well, I think it's part of the discussion about simplifying maybe the widget tagging. Right now, what I did was it was in the wrapper itself. Yeah, I think I did it in the wrapper because the wrapper was unique for every widget, and I wanted it to be whatever the widget type is.
Yeah, I was just thinking about maybe the wrapper is not, we should remove the wrappers from widgets.
I think it is important. I think it is important to have it in the wrapper because this is the only common point we have with widgets. Otherwise, we will have to implement it for every widget type. So it has to be on the widget part, and the only shape for widget part is the wrapper. So that there is no choice.
Yep. Okay.
Shape tracing doesn't work with the Harvest theme, so I have a repro to fix this. Custom forms are missing a title. Zones contain too many tags. Oh, and I also use some techniques to be able to customize content shape, like content-speaker for say, and to be able to still render some specific shapes from this content shape. Example, let me show you a speaker. Bertrand. So this part is completely customized. So the whole page is an override of the custom shape content-speaker. and this part is just inject the image, inject the title, inject this field, and so on. Okay, but this one is the taxonomy list shape. Is a field taxonomy shape. Okay, so and it's not rendered as part of the template. The template just says among all the shapes, the one called taxonomy list, render it. So with this technique, I'm able to customize whatever I want and still reuse the custom or the standard layout for a taxonomy list, which otherwise would be very hard to render as part of this template. And maybe there is an improvement possibility here, which is right now I'm just doing a for each loop over model.content. Model.content being the zone containing all the shapes, and checking for the type of this shape, and if it's the type I'm looking for, I'd render it. Maybe we could need an extension method like model.content.only and this shape, and will render or get me this shape only, something like that. Then we need whatever we want to call it, layout page, empty page, widget page, something which is empty as a layout and where we can put widgets. When I say as a layout, which shows every zone available.
One thing we had discussed for a previous version, but we never got to do it, was to actually have a widget editing experience for that type,
Yes.
right in the item
same
editor.
Yeah, the same widget editing experience we have in the widgets, exactly.
Yeah,
Maybe,
and it's not through a specific layer.
It's for the specific page, yeah.
Yep.
And next step is Nick's UI, drag and drop, but that's not necessary right now. We need to let him some more time to work on it. And but at least the one we have in widgets, so when we create a page, we can handle all the widgets for this page. Done. So we can place content, we can have a placed content scenario for our chart too, and not just dynamic content placement. And it will be more performant than the widget using layers, but layers is complementary, is on top of the scenario, so that's just injecting based on specific rules, and the layout or the widget page would be just have a route, and for this route, show me those widgets here and here and here. So like the scenario that people are asking on the forum about Sitefinity, where you just pick your items and you put them in zones. It's dynamic also like Nick's solution, but first let's do it simple and have a solution, because it's really needed. When you want to do websites like this, brochure websites, there is not so much content, but I just want to handle where I put my content. So it's very necessary. So that's what that's all for the feedback I have by doing this website. Yeah, Nick, that's what I said you built, but using drag and drop, and we want it for a page only.
Oh no. So the drag and drop thing was just that was just one thing that I was showing off. That wasn't the only thing.
Okay.
That's there. That's why. Well, I'll talk to you later. It doesn't have to be now. So we might be able to.
So let's talk about that.
module.
Yeah, let's talk about that at the Harvest conference.
Yeah. Fly me first class from Vietnam. I'll chat to you later on about it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it. So the website is running on Azure Websites, and it's fast, and it works. It's very nice. We even have Brett. Yep. Oh, you did it. Okay. So Bertrand did this little information. It's very important for people who come to the website to know that Orchard is a CMS. Next topic, triage, or someone wants to add something? Oh, John Murdoch. You know John Murdoch? Maybe you have read his name on the forum. So he's been working on the on the image processing module. Okay, he posted something on the forum. I said contact us we have some designs, and I asked him to put the update on the forum too, just to let people know that he's working on that, but he made some progress. So we'll have an image processing module soon, best of the best. And I hope we can do some demo, like we did with Brendan Carey about the scheduler module. And image processing is more than what you can even think. It's awesomer than awesomer. Awesome. Oh, whoa. Triage. I don't even want to go to the issue tracker. I'm sure there are so many ones to triage. Wow, 85. Oh, do we have a 1.6? Yes, and what is already open for 1.6? Let me see. For 1.6, maybe we should triage for 1.6 first. This one.
Question, Sebastian. What are speakers on the Harvest website? They don't seem to be content items unless I missed something.
Taxonomy terms.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thanks.
So they are content types and content items. That's the beauty of. Yeah. So just take a look at the 1.6 bugs right now. Let me see. So this one, do we want to fix it in 1.6? Zoltan, you can't vote. File exists and folder exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I also would like to fix it. Okay. But 1.6 is for no new feature, fixing bugs and performance. When I read the text, I see feature request. So, Piotr, do you still say yeah? The request is for adding file exists and a folder exists method in iStorage provider, so that people can check for just to see if a file exists or not. Today you have to list the files and see if it exists, or to try to get it and get an exception. So you can use it, and I will complement it by maybe adding it to the media storage, because the media storage is using the iStorage provider. Media service is using the iStorage provider, and also we might need some media exist and folder exist too. So Zoltan, feel free to to recall us that we need to fix it for next version.
Thanks, that's awesome.
It's just that 1.6 is very close, because now we have MVC, now we have an Hibernate, and we might have MySQL, and we say the 1.6 will be just adding those things and fixing bugs. So, but this one, same thing, adding a new feature, yes, but not yet. I change it. Yeah. So this is a bug, okay. This is a bug, regression, localized route. This is a nice ID, but so the idea is to be able to use T when we define routes. Same thing. Yeah, we discussed 152 last week but there was no very important bugs to raise a 152. There are bugs, but they don't deserve a 152. Previewing items. Yeah, same thing feature. I need a shortcut to push it to feature version. Okay, so if I go back now to issue tracker, those two bugs. Now, if I go to all proposed, now we have those ones. There should be alternates for wrappers. So should we open them and yeah. So I will check in this page everything which has to be postponed. Okay, it will be faster, yeah, like this. So yes, later. The suggested bug. Okay, so those ones I change to feature version. I have to put them active. Actually, it's not very efficient. All permission, not hiding menu items in dashboard. Let's open this one. That's a bug. Regression. See you, Nick.
Bye guys. Sorry about this. Bye.
Okay, this one is active, but for a later version. This one is active. So what's the issue here? Oh, that items are repeating. Okay. So active. Ooh, okay, still the same active 1.6. So you see, Zoltan, we have a bug for you.
Thank you. I will have to leave it as till 2.0.
Okay. Buy 2 more tags. Let's make it a bug. Okay, this yes, that's a feature. So the idea is that even if you set a permission, right now there is no filter for permissions. So when you create a query, you can say and remove the content which is not accessible from users. So this is a feature we have to add. A workaround is to check in the summary if the content can be rendered. So it has to be a filter because if it was done by default, you would say ask for 10 items, but only 3 of them are visible, and you will just see 3 items in your list on page 1, and maybe 4 on page 2, and maybe 1 on page 3. So it will be completely inconsistent. Being a filter, it will be taken, it will take part, yeah, it will be done into the query, so then you will get the exact results. So this needs to be a filter, and this is a feature. Tokens in projection HTML properties act on projection content. Yes. The idea is that when you declare a layout and you want to use a token on a property, if you use a token, it's for the it's not for the current content item, but for the projection itself. So that's an issue, but it's kind of complex to fix, and but I agree it should be done, but it's not right now. Projections might need some refactoring to be able to do that. When I wanted to do that, it was too complex, so I postponed it. A script named content picker could not be found. Okay. He said the module is enabled. So maybe on Azure it's missing a file. No, it says when dynamic compilation is disabled. I have to check that. Get rid of containers item controller. Later. Setup crushing. Should we open this one or close it directly? Maybe open it for investigation, but I won't be able to repro.
Maybe ask him if what web server he's using. If he's using ES, the full edition, maybe he's using a wrong application pool or setting or something.
Maybe maybe ask him to record a screencast of exactly how it clashes.
Yeah, this will be repro steps, and but I have the screencast in my mind. You just click OK, and you got the lifetime scope that everyone sees sometimes. But yes, the issue is why. I'm sure it's with his system. He says he has a fresh system, but yeah, that's on.
Maybe it's a fresh Windows 95 system.
Let's try with this one, like some technical information. If he can do that, okay, we can ask for a screencast, but it won't add much here.
Yeah.
Well, usually we don't get answers to those requests when we think that there is no issue, and after 2 weeks we close them because actually there was no issue. Admin menu localization error.
You know that drill.
Okay, so we broke the Hungarian websites with 1.5. Interesting. Yeah, trust you. Whew. Well, too complex for me, and I have to read. So, for fetching content items by Ajax. So it's not a security issue because today you can see everything using the ID.
And by the way, this is the default way Drupal works.
Also, yeah, /1 for instance.
There is absolutely no security issue in there.
So what is it? Core /display /1. And you got, okay, it doesn't work. Something like that, I can't remember.
Yeah, but you know, actually I was thinking about something like, for example, you have a user or some, you know, user data that shouldn't get displayed.
So today that's the case. Today you can. If it's some published element, you can access it. Otherwise, if you don't want
well,
it,
except if there are permissions prohibiting it.
If there was a permission, yeah. So that's still, yeah. So there is no security issue because if you want to secure stuff, you got the feature to do it. You can secure it at the content type level. You can say anonymous can't view a user, and then you won't be able to access a user. You can say anonymous can't see this user, and so on. So it's okay. What you can't see is specific preview, specific versions by default. There is also a right for that permission. So it's okay. Maybe that could be done actually with in 1.6 with Web API instead of adding a new override on the controller. You could have a specific Web API controller, HTTP controller, to do that using Web API. And it will handle content negotiation, so you will have JSON or XML or whatever you want. So it's a feature, and yeah, that's kind of Web API stuff. Because now we have Web API, so. Yeah, this one is an important bug we have to fix. There is a collision with the event bus interface name, not taking the namespace into account. Yeah, maybe what I can do some triaging. I don't want to take all your time, and if you see something which is not correctly triaged, just make a comment, and because we are just 17 bugs and we have 85. So do you want to stop the meeting now? It's time.
Yeah, it's 4 past. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I need to.
So
run
we'll
anyway,
make
so.
we'll make an update next week about this one, these bugs, and the feature. Okay, guys.
Okay.
So see you next week. I continue the triaging offline.
Bye.
Okay,
Thanks.
guys. Cheers.